another video about the whole strawberry jam. I had a thought, and I was thinking, can we do this a little bit easier, and will it work? So I was thinking, could we actually use some pre-made jam? And I've got a jar of this. It's been in the cupboard for far too long. It's the cheap stuff from the supermarket. It's about 30p per jar. It's strawberry jam. There's obviously strawberries in it. It's quite thick. As you can see, it's quite thick. I've got 2 jars of it. I'm only opening one, but I wanted to use anyway. So it's quite thick already. I was thinking, could we macerate the strawberries in some sugar, and then add those strawberries to that jam and see what happens. So instead of making jam, which I kind of thought was it's a bit of a faff. So can we melt this jam, because it will melt, and then put those strawberries in, and will that work? Rather than having to buy lots of strawberries and then make the strawberry jam and then kind of faff around with that, can we just buy some strawberries, macerate them, and then add them to pre-bought jam? I'm using the cheap jam because that's what I've got. And it needs using up. It's probably a little bit past its sole product. It's all right as jam, if I'm honest. If you're doing something that like baking loads of cakes, or you're making a jam sponge or a jam roly-poly, it's fine for that type of thing. But you know, if you're going to be if you're wanting nice jam to put on your toast, this is not it. But for cooking wise, it's all right. And for the purpose of this, it's all right as well, because there's no point buying expensive jam when we can just buy a jar of cheap jam and faff around, because it's the same process. It's nice and thick, it's got pectin in it, it's got sugar in it. I don't think it's got sweetener in it. Let's have a look. Dun, 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 dun. Glucose, fructose, syrup, strawberries, jelly. It's got a gelling agent in. Pectins, citric acid, acidity regulators, sodium citrates, total sugar content, I can't even speak, 62 grams per 100, prepared with 35 grams of fruit per 100 grams. So it's alright. I don't know how it'll be made. I don't know if it's certainly not going to be whole strawberries. I have a feeling that it will be not a waste product, because that's kind of the wrong thing to say, but it'll be like a byproduct from something else. So it might be a load of strawberry juice they turn into jam type of thing, because strawberry juice is still strawberry, it's still fruit, and so therefore it might be that, or it might be made from strawberries which aren't particularly good quality. Well, they don't kind of say like the big jam manufacturers will want particularly good quality strawberries. Not all strawberries are going to come up to the quality, so they've got to do something with those strawberries, and they can't sell them. So rather than waste things, they turn them into other products. So it might be that. I don't know, but that's always my kind of theory about things. What would I do with something that wasn't just quite as good a quality, or I had a glut of something? You don't want to throw it away, because you've got all the work that's gone into growing it. Then you might as well do something with it, and doing something with it means turning it into something else that's got a longer shelf life that you can then sell, type of thing. That's what I do anyway. But there again, I'm not entirely sure I understand how the world works. The older you get and all that kind of stuff, how I do things is certainly not how they are done. So that's nice and melted. So as you can see, it's alright. If you wanted to make a jam sponge, jam roly-poly, this stuff's fine, you know. Or if you wanted to practice doing something with a cheap jam, or you were with the kids and you were teaching them how to bake or make things, and you were worried that they were going to mess things up, and well, not worried that they're going to mess things up, because the chances are that, but if you just wanted to play around with something for the day, then this would be like a cheap way to do it. Right, so that looks like it's melted enough. We'll just turn that up a bit. I'm actually making a tea. I'm having some leftovers fried in sourdough, so it's like a cheese toasty, but done in the frying pan. I'm very hungry because it's late and I've been swimming. So, which one's the front? I'll just turn that up a little bit so we can see if we can. So it's definitely getting going, and then we'll cook it slowly. There was 800 grams worth of strawberries before we started, and this is a 454 gram jar of jam. Right, so that into there. Looks like there's going to be a decent amount, and then stir it around. And then we'll just let that cook gently, just to kind of cook the strawberries a little bit, but we don't want to boil it, because strawberries are delicate and they'll boil to bits, and we don't want to stir it too much because we'll knock the strawberries to bits. So let me just turn my sandwich over. Ooh, that's warm. So we'll have that on a low heat, just to warm the strawberries through, and we'll release some of that juice. So hopefully this will work. Well, if it doesn't work, it'll lead us down another path, which will be just as interesting. So jam came up to temperature, up to boil, and the fruit has simmered away in it gently. I think I'm gonna turn the heat off, and then I'm going to leave it for, scrape that jam down. Let's come up with that. I'm gonna leave it for 10 or 15 minutes. It'll stay hot, but the strawberries will just carry on cooking slightly, without the risk of them boiling up or anything like that. So we'll just kind of see how that works, just as a bit of a change. That looks okay. That looks alright. It looks like the jam stayed pretty thick as well, so that out of the way. Don't need that. Spoon into some sterile jars. We're wanting more fruit than juice. I don't really know what I'm aiming for. I just know that when I'm there, I'll know. To be honest, I just like playing around. It's all just a bit of fun. I mean, it's expensive as this, really. I mean, I don't think, unless you've got access to free fruit, I don't actually think that making your own jam is worth it. Financially, I just think you'd be better off buying a good quality jam. But if you make your own, you can make it taste exactly how you want. So we're not going to have enough fruit for 3 whole jars, but we'll just top these. Jars with a bit more liquid, and we'll see how we go. The fruit's always going to rise to the top, because it's not cooked down like where you cook the crap out of jam, really, and the fruit in it. but we'll kind of see what we get up to. And a bit more. Juice in that one. And then some lids on. And see how we go. So that's it until tomorrow morning. What's it taste like actually? That's alright, that could do with a bit of lemon in it. But we're just faffing around. So, lids on. And we'll just put them upside down. And then that'll seal them, and hopefully the fruit will float. Well, not float too much, but we'll see in the morning anyway. Right, let's have a look. Yes, far too liquid. Far too liquid. But let's have a taste. Let's have a taste. And the strawberries have gone kind of quite pale. So let's have a look. Yeah, it's far too thin, is that? Far too thin. So we can't do a cheaty method. It's the it's all the liquid that wants to come out of strawberries. That's what the problem is. Yeah, that don't work. That don't work. Don't matter. Don't matter. It's answered a question. It's answered a question that we can't kind of not cheat, but we can't think a way around it. It's all right. It's all right. We can, what am I call it? We can have another think and another go, and maybe take it in another direction.